Hey guys! So, this last week was our first session of our new D&D campaign that I'm doing. I'm running a D&D campaign as a DM of a group of between 5 to 7, depending on attendance. And if anyone is interested, this D&D campaign that I'm running is based on the Fablehaven book series by Brandon Mull, and it is really, really fun. So I just had a really successful session on Saturday, which was our first session. We did a session 0 prior to this that was about just kind of about rules that we had hope for the kind of outcome of the campaign and the play style of the group, like what people's preferences are, and then everybody got to paint their minis, which was super, super fun. And so we have 5 consistent players who are going to be coming every week, and I'm going to do kind of a rundown of what our different characters are, and it's going to be super fun to talk about. But my husband is going to be playing a character called Garth. He is a warlock human who wears a bag over his head that is like a burlap sack over his head that is due to a disfigurement that he had at some point. And then I have sorry, I'm just trying to pull up some music as well right now, because I feel if you guys are going to listen to me ramble, then you might as well listen to some sick tavern music at the same time. But, let's see. Here's a good one. So, as a repeat, my husband's going to be playing a character called Garth, who is a warlock human, and he is he's using a lantern with a candle that can never light, which is a part of the trinkets block in the player's handbook to let you customize a little bit, which is super cool. My campaign is Fablehaven based, and so it's based on the world of Fablehaven of Brandon Mull, which I'm super excited. They're going to be making a movie of that in the next couple of years, and I'm avidly following their creation of that and the process behind it. And my husband's playing a warlock human named Garth, and then his brother is going to be playing a Goliath barbarian named Ulrich, who gets upset with people who mispronounce his name as Ulrich or whatever. That's his little thing. He's a sailor, a Goliath barbarian. He's chose the stone giant path, I believe, for his Goliath character. And then his wife is going to be playing an Asmar paladin named Marina. And I'm gonna have to post. I just recently posted all of their minis, and they turned out super good. I am so excited for them. And then my sister-in-law, so my husband's sister, is playing a wood elf druid named Feronia Elderflower. And then she was abandoned by her parents and raised by Aspen by Aspen Dryads. And then her fiance is playing a character named Alden. Alden Duroot is his name, and he is a human monk whose parents were killed by dragons, and he was raised by monks. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced this in their D&D campaigns, but everybody decided to have their characters all have tragic backstories and dead parents, or depressing relationships with their parents. So I don't know if that's a common thing. But, so that's super, super fun. And so, just as a kind of a recap of what happened, let's see. There we go. Oh, that's cool. So, just wanted to cover a recap of what the group did in our first session this last Saturday. So, the group, I wrote out a fantastic little paragraph, if I can grab that, so, the group, it says that each of you have a different past and varying beliefs. However, something drew each of you to join a group called the Knights of the Dawn. Maybe it was a friend's invitation, or the drive for adventure. All you know is that the Knights will provide you the opportunity for a new beginning and progression in your life's journey. As initiates into the Knights of the Dawn, you each received a personal invitation to travel to Celeria, a port city, and meet with a group of fellow initiates who will become your companions in learning and adventure. After meeting with your party, you will travel to the location designated in your invitation, Filbert's Tavern, to find the knight's contact who will give you directions to your first assignment with a man named Soren Stanson. So, I read off that paragraph to the group, and they traveled to Filbert's Tavern in this city named Celeria, which I found several amazing map generators for D&D campaigns online, which I love, and I will probably link on my account at some point. But so the party meets at a tavern, and Ulrich, who is our Goliath barbarian, he and several of the others instantly go to the bartender and demand the finest ale that they can get and throw copious amounts of gold at this bartender, which I feel is a standard for D&D. And we had several group members who decided that they wanted to see if they could find the contact in this tavern, and they could not. They were, well, our monk decided to roll investigation for the room or perception for the room to see if he could find anybody who looked interesting, and instead he rolled low enough that he found a table in the tavern quite interesting. And so then everyone decided to go to the bartender and ask him if he had any regulars who were there, or if he could direct them to a man, or to the man that they were looking for. And they so they traveled to, sorry, not traveled to, but they the bartender says to the group that there is in fact a couple people in the tavern who may interest them. He doesn't know them personally, and gestures to some people in the room, and they find themselves drawn to a man, of course, in the corner of the room, because I'm incredibly stereotypical. And they talk to him, and the man introduces himself as Errol Fisk, and that he's been waiting for the party, and he knows of the man that they're trying to reach, of Soren Stanson, and he's going to he's aware of the Knights of the Dawn, he's a member, and that he is going to give them directions to Sorenstansons, but he needs help first. He tells them that nearby, the Knights of the Dawn have located a dangerous artifact in the possession of a Viviblix named Archibald Mangum, and that they will need, and that they agreed that it would be best to send the party into a dungeon, and, well, not into the dungeon. He says that Archibald Mangum lives at a nearby church just outside of the city, and they believe that he keeps this dangerous artifact in a tomb, in a crypt outside of his church. And so he gives one of the party members, he gives Marina a very stale biscuit and tells him that's all they'll need to get in and into the crypt and get the artifact out. And they ask what the artifact is, and the artifact is, in fact, in the shape of a jade toad. And so the party asks if there's any other potential dangers, which he informs them that due to the nature of a Viviblix, that it is possible that Archibald Mangum could have reanimated several zombies, but that if they are present, he doesn't believe that they will be enough of a danger to the group to prevent them from getting the artifact. So the group agrees to go and retrieve this artifact so that the Knights of the Dawn can destroy it. And the party travels to the church outside of the city, and they, after some dorking about in the church and general scouting out of this place, they do locate the crypt, which is not hard to miss because it is the entrance to it is outside of it's a mausoleum, so it is not hard to find. And so they go into the mausoleum, and even though they knew the door was open enough that they could go in, they decided to slam the door open and go into this mausoleum, into this crypt, as loudly as possible. And they go in, and they find the main hall of the crypt down some stairs. And on either side of them are rooms for burials, and are generally okay. There's, some decent spaces. They try opening one of the coffins and are, of course, very disappointed. And the party goes, and they're trying to ask me, as the DM, they were wondering if they could smell anything that was odd, or they could hear anything, or they could, and of course, with how well they rolled, I told them that they could smell that the space smelled a little bit worse than they would expect a crypt to smell, and that they could hear shuffling noises coming up the stairs to them. And the party was instantly on edge, and as they watch, they see several zombies shambling up the stairs, and they enter into combat with 6 zombies. A halfling, a kenku, a tiefling, a human, a dwarf, and an elf. And they are all zombified. And after a decent amount of combat, because of the size of the group, they not instantly, that's stupid, I'm not going to say that, but after this fight, which involved some generalized hucking of zombies at other zombies, because improvised weapons are fun. And these zombies are defeated, and the group decide to scout out, decide to loot what they have, and they get some decent loot. And they notice that that the zombies don't look quite normal. They look like an old adventuring party who had died in a rather unfortunate way. And they continue, but the group continues into the crypt, and they are confronted with a hallway to their right and a wall to their left, so instantly they decide to study the wall, not because I had a piece of paper covering that section of the map or anything, but because, you know, I had a piece of paper covering that section of the map. And so the group, they observe the wall, they try and break the wall, they manage to absolutely decimate this wall. And they are able to find inside a hidden room behind this wall a statue in the shape of a seated toad. And at the base of that statue it reads, "Do not feed the frog." And that instantly terrifies the group. And so they're freaking out. They're like, maybe we shouldn't feed the frog. Do we really know whatever? And Ulrich, who is our barbarian, says, hey, I just know that we should be doing a job. We were asked to, you know, like we were told we could not move the frog unless it is fed. He tries picking it up. It's proven that he cannot pick up the frog. And so it's like, you know what, let's just check out the rest of the crypt first, see if there's anything else interesting, see if we can get any information. And so he and another member of the group, they go scouting out further down into the crypt, and they see a large, very, very large, ornate tomb burial, and the group, they instantly freak out. They're like, what if the Vivablix is still here? What if we gotta get out of here as fast as possible? Go, 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 feed the frog, feed the frog. And so our paladin, who has the stale biscuit, feeds the frog statue and is bit, and before the statue goes dormant again and is able to be picked up and moved. And they hurry out as fast as they can. They bring the statue with them back to the tavern where they met with Errol Fisk previously. And Errol is just super excited that they have the statue, and that he's telling them, thank you so much. This artifact could do terrible things if left in the hands of somebody as evil as a Vivablix. And so the group goes to, they asked him, they're like, what's with this? Do you know what's with this statue? What does it do? And he's like, I don't know as much as I should, but we think that that it has something to do with potentially summoning a demon. And so the group is like, well, why do the Knights of the Dawn want it? He's like, they don't want it. They want to destroy it. Whatever. The group does, one of our group members, the monk, decides to roll for insight to see if Errol is telling the truth. And from what he can tell, Errol is not lying that the Knights of the Dawn would destroy this artifact if they could. And so they give the artifact to Errol, who puts it into a bag of holding, and he tells them, he's like, thank you so much. I'm gonna head to the port and get this to the Knights of the Dawn so they can destroy it. And the group are like, well, you promised to tell us where Soren Stenson's house is, and he says, yes, absolutely. I don't know the precise location, but you head west out of the city gates and then hook to the northwest and then just keep going until you hit forest, and he's around that area. And then and then Errol leaves the group, and he leaves out of the tavern, and the group decides to pay for rooms to stay in this tavern before they leave, and try to get to Soren Stansen's house. And at that time, a woman comes stumbling down the stairs holding your head, and she says, "I am so sorry, guys. I don't know. I think I might have been knocked out. I've been waiting for you guys to get here. Where I'm supposed to help you get to somebody named... I'm trying to help you to get to Soren Stansen's house." And the group instantly freaks out because they realize that this is supposed to be their contact. She says, "My name is Valencia Santoro." And the group is like, "Do you know anybody by the name of Errol Fisk?" And she's like, "Does he look like this?" He's tall with wavy dark hair and kind of a pointy chin. And Valencia's like, "Holy crap, that guy he's not one of us. He's not a member of the Knights of the Dawn. He's bad news. What happened?" And the group's like, "Well, do you know anything about Archibald Mangum?" And she's like, I know of an Archibald Mangum nearby." And they're like, "Well, he's a Viviblix that had this terrible artifact that we had to help get for the..." And Valencia stops them. She's like, "I know Archibald, but he is no Viviblix." And so the group instantly freaks out, and they're like, "We have got to get to Errol." And they're like, "Run, run, run, we gotta get to the port, hail a carriage, whatever." And so they run out of the tavern, they try to hail a carriage, they manage to hail one, and our Goliath, who apparently is not very good at math, starts throwing coins, like he's like 5 gold coins just for a ride to the port. And the group and the carriage driver is like, I think, like, I can get you guys to the port, but, like, you're huge, you can't fit in. They put the Goliath on top of the carriage. And so they run to the port as fast as they fricking can. And they are, just as they get to the port, they see a small, fast ship ringing its bells, pulling out from the harbor. It is pulling up its gangplank and its anchor and is about to head out, and the group decides to... They're like, "We know Errol's on that boat, we gotta get him off, we gotta go. So they get the boat. One of the members jumps into the water thinking he can swim quite well. He cannot. He's trying to chase after this boat, and our warlock casts Eldritch Blast to try to damage the boat, trying to hit the rudder to stop the boat from being able to steer correctly, and it only does a slight amount of damage, not enough to stall this boat, and the boat leaves. And they head over to the portmaster's building there, and they're like, "Please, who's on that boat? Who just got on that boat?" And the portmaster's like, You mean Steve's boat? I've known him forever." They're like, "Well, who's on it? Where's he going? Like, when will he be back?" And the group is freaking out, and he's like, he'll be back in an hour. He's just taking some tourists out to the port island. And he's like, "Did you just attack his boat?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, but do you know a guy by the name of Errol Fisk?" And he checks his documents. He's like, "Nobody by the name of Errol Fisk has come here in the last month." And the group just freaks out, and they're like, "He got away! What do you mean he got away? Like, he's not on that boat. Wait, what?" And the guy's like, "You attacked Steve's boat. You're not a friend. Steve's a friend." And they're like, "We're so sorry. We thought this guy, we're trying to get to him, but we're so sorry." And they give the guy money, say, "Give this to Steve. Please fix his boat. We are so sorry." And that is where the session ended, and it was so super cool because the group was, it was just a perfect plot twist where the group was just taken off guard by this Errol Fisk, and they have no idea who he really is, and they have no idea who to trust. And so I am so excited. I am converting Fablehaven into an active D&D campaign with my friends, and I'm going to share what I can. We may not be able to film the table sessions, but I'm going to share what I can and share story as I go along and helpful tips for other DMs. So, love you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a good night.